All right, got it and done. Peaceful greetings to you all. Namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, Islam, Islam. I am Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey here in Morocco at Northwest of Maxim. How are you? Guys, it is New Year's Eve, right? Still technically New Year's Eve because the sun does not ingress Aries until about 2300 hours, 6 minutes, and 10 seconds Eastern. So that's 11:06:10 post meridian Eastern. Adjust your time zones accordingly. For those of you out there near the Central Time Zone, that will be 10:06:10. Alrighty, post meridian Central. And those of you on the West Coast, for the Pacific Time Zone, as it's called, that will be 8:06:10 post meridian Pacific. Alrighty, so it's New Year's Eve, right? New Year's, as far as the North Gate is concerned, right, in the Northern Hemisphere, also, right. So, with that being said, this is thoroughly interesting to just go in on for a bit. How's everyone doing out there? By the way, I trust all is well. I trust you are prepared and preparing yourself and gathering the energy necessary to have your mirror astro literacy session with Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey, and really are ready and prepared to solve your social and economic issues. And the first step to solving the social and economic issues that we have collectively on this planet, but we got to start with self first, is knowing, really knowing ourselves. And the best way to know ourselves is via our genethlical figures, our natal charts. All right. So, with that being said, me come on in here as well in this live. Just begin monitoring the chat for whenever you guys come on in. For those that are here already, C. Thomas, hey, that's brother Corey Thomas. Bay, peaceful greetings to you, brother. He said Islam, beloved brother. All righty, so I'm going to be very brief because in a bit we are going to be in Newbie Tuesday at Lawful Living to continue to go over and exercise within the jurisprudence gym, go over the jurisprudence exercises so that we are thorough in comprehending our position when it comes to being the beneficiaries that are to correct these public trustees who are, practicing self-enrichment through franchising. All right, so that's what is, actually taking place. All right, so after this, Newbie Tuesday is in 45 minutes, right? Lawful Living's Newbie Tuesday, all right, at the Jurisprudence Gym, as I have termed it. So with that being said, let me just go and screen share right here. I'm just going to get started and share this screen now so you guys can see when New Year is actually taking place here, right? Some will call it Nature's New Year. I like to call it North Gate New Year because here, where we are here at the North Gate, which has a corporation trying to keep its grips of occupation within it. The corporation termed the United States of America Corporation, which really is actually ours. However, since there's been a corruption that has taken place and a relinquishing of the jurisdiction here in Morocco by Dwight D. Eisenhower in 1955, what is actually taking place is a lot of people are being taken advantage of in social and economic turmoil right now, due to the fact that people are taking advantage. Those people that are, governors and lawyers and judges, I'm not saying it's all of them, but it's a great majority of them, especially people on local levels for, district courts, county district courts, city district courts, county superior courts, and things of that nature. These people are going unchecked due to the fact that it's not popular for people to know the how statutes, codes, and policies actually are designed, as their foundation are their definitions, their legislative intent, their legislative intent, their scope, and applicability. And I guess we got to make that cool. Maybe there needs to be some actual songs out there. Maybe there needs to be some Cardi B twerking videos, but the lyrics have to be all about knowing how to correct belligerent trustees, those that are practicing trustee malfeasance. Maybe those lyrics need to be, said with all the booty shaking that's taking place. I'm saying it that way on purpose just because it's funny to me saying it that way. All right. Melissa Hart says peaceful greetings to everyone, and she says trustees. All right, yeah, trustees. All right. So, guys, New Year's, right? At least from here near the Baltimore Corporation, Maryland State Republic, 19th March 2024. So the sun, as we can see right here, you see my cursor, the sun will be at 0 degrees, Aries, 0 minutes. And it's ingressing Aries while in the 5th house from near the, Maryland State Republic. brother Corey, you said send you a beat. You'll make songs about it. I may have to do that, man. I may have to actually consider that, especially since I am definitely as much as I'm into the astrology and jurisprudence, I'm definitely always in my studio softwares and my digital audio workstation. So I may have to actually consider that. Seriously. However, yes, sun, 0 degrees, Aries, 0 minutes, taking place at 2300 hours, 6 minutes, and 10 seconds, right? So that is 11:06:10 post meridian Eastern. And as I said before, for you guys out there in the central time zone, that will be 2200 hours, 6 minutes, and 10 seconds, or 10:06:10 post meridian Eastern. And for those out there near the West Coast, right, that will be 2000 hours, 6 minutes, and 10 seconds, or 8:06:10. So 8:06:10 or 8:06:10 post meridian Pacific. All right, so that's where New Year's taking place. And so, what is 0 degrees Aries, right? I'm curious. What is 0 degrees Aries? Well, we go to our Encyclopedia of Astrology by Nicholas DeVore. 0 degrees Aries is a positive nature that creates its own destiny. It's the cusp of the first lunar mansion. Alrighty, and it's a so-called critical degree. Where is Aries in your chart? Do you know? If you're not sure, schedule your Mirror Astro Literacy session with Brother Hasan Ghaziel Bey, if you are interested in knowing how to read the astrology. Language pertaining to astrology is not hard at all. And if you would like to start off light, there's always the Celestial Promise session. All right, it's definitely you guys use the promo code REFLECT for the 3-hour Mirror Astro Literacy session. It goes from $459 for the session, alrighty, to $279.99. Alrighty, so take 39% off of what it is for the Mirror session when you are utilizing the promo code REFLECT. All you gotta do is mention it. All right, and 9 times out of 10, I'll offer it. Just so I'm always being a brother, right? And however, when it comes to the Celestial Promise session for 1 hour, it's $153 flat. There is no discounts there for the Celestial Promise session. All right, so 0 degrees Aries, a positive nature that creates its own destiny, cusp of the first lunar mansion. All right, and it's a so-called critical degree. So I think that's interesting, right? What does that mean for someone's chart? Where would they be creating their destiny with, right? And as you've been here for the last, this is now day 3 for community health, right? If we were to look at Tamar Esteen Braxton's chart, as we've been looking at Sunday, Monday, and now also today, we see Aries is her whole sign 5th house. If we look at the whole sign Sagittarius, it's house 1, whole sign Capricorn, house 2, Aquarius 3, Pisces 4. Aries will be our whole sign 5th house. However, Placidus, we can see that cusp of house 1 is here on Sag, cusp of house 2 is here on Capricorn. Cusp pertaining to house 3 is here at 28 degrees, 49 minutes in Aquarius. Cusp of house 4 however, is in Aries. So her Placidus fourth house is Aries. However, where the sun will ingress here at 0 degrees, where you see my cursor just, making small circles here, right? I'm encircling with a small circumference, right? That sun will be ingressing her Placidus third house, yet her whole sign fifth house. I hope we can see that. All right. So when it comes to what we see as far as one being able to create their own destiny, maybe it's something pertaining to one, daily communication about children, right? So maybe communicating daily the ideals pertaining to children, because I know that this is our whole sign fifth house, right? Aries. But the third house. So third house gives me communication. Fifth house gives me children, or maybe there's even some things pertaining to creative communication. Maybe she's interested in authoring children's books. Who knows? It's a very strong possibility. However, maybe there's also something when it comes to finances, maybe even lawsuits pertaining to children. Maybe there's something that actually takes place there. Or even when it comes to early childhood development and finances, maybe she's investing in, who knows, early childhood developmental centers like daycares or things of that nature. So that's a one way of me even saying to myself, how could I look at that, right? However, we know, even though the moon wouldn't be here at that time during, nature's new year, if we were to go back and look at this particular chart, right, we see Luna is here in Leo, all right, just coming off of a trine with the sun, all right. But here the sun will be in the first lunar mansion. So it's very curious to me. What is the first lunar mansion? I mean, I know I'm just presenting to ye all in terms of community health, because again, this is how we solve our social and economic issues. You know what? Instead of showing the Gaia Dalakin there, right, which is where I'm going to get this excerpt from. Okay, this is where I want to be, but I'm going to take it to the lunar mansions so that we can actually see it. All right. And these are like excerpts from Picatrix from the Gaia Dalaki, right? So just very briefly, just a quick share, right? So the first lunar mansion, the name of it is Alnath, the budding, right? Another word for budding is gore, right? Headbutting, goring, because, rams headbutt, right? They gore. The indicator stars, possibly Sheraton or Mesartine, which mark the horns of Aries, hence the name of the mansion, right? The budding, which is also could be looked at as the goring. Zodiacal measurement of this first lunar mansion, of course, it's only 12 degrees, 51 minutes in span, like all 28 lunar mansions, right? However, in Vedic astrology, since there's 27 lunar mansions, they are 13 degrees, 20 minutes in span in the Vedic or Jyotisha, some will say Indian, also astrology. If one was to elect to do things utilizing this, right, and you guys don't do black magic, right? I normally do not share this. Do not share this. I just, give, my testimonies, my diverse testimonies. This is just another one of those tools. I'm just showing you just really briefly, probably the first and last time I ever shared this. But the electional properties, one can take medicine, like, and this is if the moon was here. But sometimes, honestly, when I see other planets in the mansions, I can see other things. There's other insights that I get, other Akashic downloads that I get, even about those planets in the lunar mansions while they're in whatever signs and houses they're in, right? In my father's house, there are many mansions. Look at that. And that house actually being the entire zodiac, honestly. But as far as the houses are concerned, depending on the house systems that we choose to use, whether it's whole sign house, Placidus, or Regiomontanus, Alcabetius, Porphyry, Moranus, Campanus, all the different types of houses, Coke, however many, whichever ones, you're familiar with or use. However, the lectional properties, let's say the moon's here, right? However, we're analyzing the sun. So there's a theme pertaining to taking medicine, begin a journey, purchase livestock, create discord between individuals, and imprisonment, right? It's not good to elect to do, matrimony or Mars rage, right? Marriage, as they say. But I prefer matrimony over marriage. However, non-statutory marriage is also something that I could preferably say. It's not good for partnerships, and it's not good for the foundation of meaningful friendships or alliances, as one individual usually tries to overpower the other. If one was to make talismans while, Moon was here, it says the talismanic image with, which I agree at least with the first three words, a black man. Is that a pale skin? Because black, we know etymologically denotes pale, right? So that's what my mind thinks. I don't know. Some people maybe under the hypnosis think of someone with copper toned skin or, heavy olive hue to their skin. They might call that being a black man, or those beings that have been misclassified, misidentified, and misnomered as Negro and colored and African American. That's what I think some people under the hypnosis of social engineering may call a black man. Or to me, a black man is someone who has pale skin, honestly. But anyway, let's read the talismanic image, right? So if someone was to make a talisman, it would be of a black man, whatever that is, with his hair enwrapped and encircled, having in his right hand a spear in the manner of a warrior. The talismanic properties, the properties of that talisman, is good for motivation and completing projects, safety during travel, ending unhealthy relationships, and fucking murder. That's I'm just quoting what it says there. Right. And this is why I say, like, don't be getting into that black magic and stuff, guys. Don't you do it. Spirit is Geniel or Geris. Some people say Geniel or Geris. The fumigation or the undersmoking, that which can be burned like an incense, liquid storax, some will say styrax. Right? Notes. Something of a difficult mansion to get a feel for. Al-Nath has a propensity for duality. On the one hand, many of its properties are beneficial, such as lighting a fire under someone to encourage them to begin a project they've been putting off, or for protection during journeys. But it has some pretty nasty utilizations as well, such as ruining relationships and cursing people with imprisonment or death. Literally, the example from Picatrix, right? The Gaya Talakim. How one approaches working with this mansion will depend heavily on what the goal is. And, when there are people out there and you guys try to work different things, the reason why it backfires on you is because those people are protected. They're thoroughly protected. All right. Especially those that are sincere. Those that are sincere are thoroughly protected. But just wanted to, the reason why I even spoke on that, right? The reason why I even spoke on that is because we saw that when we looked at Aries, 0 degrees Aries, where nature's new year is taking place, right? Where the sun will be at 0 degrees Aries, 0 minutes, a positive nature that creates its own destiny, the cusp of the first lunar mansion. So this is where, if we were to go back to Tamar Braxton's chart to see how this takes place, right? How, and I could put them both in synastry right now, take this chart and put it on the outside of her chart. But I'm just going to go to her chart and we can just focus on just the sun, all right? Just the sun being about right here, all right? Just the sun being about right here, all righty? So what it could say for the area of her life, which is 3rd and 5th house. 3rd house, Placidus, as it says here. However, the foundation for me of all charts is whole sign. So the foundation is 5th. 5th house we know is crushes, like boyfriend, girlfriend type crushes, sex, flirting, children, right? Because children come from sex. Creativity, the stage. Self-expression is fifth house energies. Third house gives communication, early childhood development, siblings, the childhood neighborhood, actually, right? So I think that's rather interesting because when it comes to her third house, what's interesting is Saturn is ruling her Placidus third house, traditionally, with Uranus in the contemporary and the modern astrology being co-ruler to that house. And in modern astrology, Uranus is exalted in Scorpio. So this could also be maybe good news for adopting. I don't know if Tamar Braxton is into adopting children. So if it's dealing with something with like children and law, this could also possibly pertain to adoption, if that's something she's into. I don't know. I don't know Tamar Braxton, guys. So with that being said, I'm just giving you what the possibilities are. However, again, this is to encourage you all righty, to schedule your Mirror Astro Literacy session or your Celestial Promise session. So with that being said, I'm just the sun, because the sun ingressing Aries, of course, it's in its exaltation, right? Sun is exalted in Aries, and its exaltation degree is 19 degrees Aries, right? That's where the sun is exalted, at 19 degrees. See, 19 degrees, exaltation of the sun. However, it's the fall of Saturn, and it's a fortunate degree. And if we all recall, too, right, at 19 degrees Aries, 24 minutes, that's where the solar eclipse is going to take place at 2:52 post meridian Eastern, 1400 hours, 22 minutes Eastern, which can be seen. So that's interesting. There's going to be an eclipse at a fortunate degree where the sun is exalted while it's, of course, in its exaltation sign, right? So just to give you guys a few things just to think about, a few bits here and there to just kind of put that out there, right? What I also can do is like I said, if you guys are interested in just having a session, sort of kind of just a tester session live, we can. Yesterday I just put the link in for the Zoom in there. No one came up. No one wanted to come on up, and that's fine. If you didn't, when you are confident to, if you want to, you can. If not, schedule your session privately. I guarantee what it is that I can do for you is far beyond what I even present in these lives for free. All right. So with that being said, I just really see that there must be something taking place when it comes to the destiny, possibly pertaining to some communication, pertaining to early childhood development, children, as well as, probably adopting someone else's child, so to speak, or doing some type of foster care. And it's very interesting since Saturn, like I said, because the third house cusp is at 28 degrees for Placidus, saying, since I know that her third house cusp is here at 28 degrees, 49 minutes in Aquarius. And I said Saturn and Uranus are ruling over that. Saturn's in the children sign. It's in Leo, even though it's in the eighth house, dealing with joint energies, right? I don't know if this is like dealing with, the title 4E, joint custody between foster parents, which is who that is only for. And usually that statute is misapplied to people who are not employees under the employees benefits number termed the social security number. However, since these things are misused, the statute's definitions, applicability, scope, and legislative intent, there's a possibility that with what's happening as far as our third house is concerned and the sun ingressing there, it could be dealing with something with other people's children or a partner's child, or the restriction in childhood and maybe some type of disciplinary action pertaining to children or the joint energies pertaining to children, right? And then Uranus is here in the 11th house. 11th house is other people's children, opposite of the fifth. Fifth is children. Fifth is your children. 11th house is other people's children. However, Uranus there exalted at 11 degrees, which is an Aquarian degree. Very interesting to see that also while retrograde. So beating, this is a, moving to the beat of their own drum type of, energy with the Uranus retrograde. However, it just makes me think there could be something going on behind the scenes. This is what's interesting is Uranus is in the 8th sign while Saturn's in the 8th house, and they're both ruling over the 3rd house, Placidus. I think that's just interesting. So that's why I was saying earlier, maybe it's something dealing with, court and children in some type of way, some type of communication pertaining to that as well. Maybe too, it's also, like I said, a daycare, maybe a investment into some early childhood developmental venture to help children. Maybe she's interested in a Montessori school. Maybe helping people to better do homeschooling for people. Who knows? Again, I do not know Tamar Estine Braxton. However, we're just using her chart as far as this community health exampling is concerned. Are there questions, comments, and or suggestions for me thus far? Questions, comments, and or suggestions? Right? Another thing I would like to bring up, guys, it is Ekadashi, right? So if you can, do not eat any grain from 2:53. Do not eat any grain from 2:53, all righty, until 2:53 in the afternoon Eastern today, until about 2:52 until about 4:53 tomorrow afternoon, all righty. And I'll show you guys that, all right, and what I'm speaking on, so you guys can see it. All right. Where am I? Right. Let us change this to Baltimore. Right. Baltimore, Maryland. Get the calendar. So the TT calendar, right? And we know TT is 12 degrees set, roughly 12 degrees set, which is the amount, the average amount, so to speak, of the moon's movement. But we're going to say 12 degrees set. And we're here at the TT calendar. And Dashami is over at 14:52 Eastern, where it starts Ekadashi in Mithuna. Mithuna is Gemini, right? Mithuna is Gemini in the Vedic astrology, Mithuna. So this is the Shukla Paksha Dashami that we are in right now. Shukla Paksha Dashami up to 2:52 post-meridian Eastern, where Ekadashi starts. And the deity that's usually worshipped within Hindu astrology or the Hindu faith is Ashta Dikbalakas for Dashami, but it is Lord Kubera for Ekadashi. And the Ekadashi TT is where we like to refrain from grain, anything that is a type of grain that's heavily dependent on water being absorbed. So we are, fasting to not eat, we're fasting from grain from 2:52 post meridian. And what it is, it's scientific. It's not about some dogma belief system practice. It's really scientific to be able to preserve your energy during both the Shukla Paksha Ekadashi as well as the Krishna Paksha Ekadashi also. And during these times, abstaining from grain, of all grain. This is where, even if you are not going to fast completely, just fast from grain, just eat vegetables, eat just fruits and vegetables, right? But abstain from grain so that you can actually have, I've noticed after every fast during Ekadashi, abstaining from that grain, there's something beautiful that happens on the other side after you make it through that fast. And what's interesting is when you don't actually partake in that fast, usually within 3 days, something unfavorable takes place in your life, whether it's directly to you or you recognize something that kind of, bothers you quite a bit, right? However, um, the Ekadashi Titi is over at 4:53 post meridian, as we can see. Shukla Paksha Ekadashi, right? Amalaki Ekadashi. Shukla Paksha Ekadashi up to 4:53 post meridian until Dwadashi starts, all right? Which is the 12th set of 12 degrees. So Ekadash is 11, right? And this is how I've kind of learned how to count, as far as the basis of Sanskrit is when it comes to knowing what they call Hindu astrology, Vedic astrology. Jyotisha is what I think it would be more, um, you know, um, apt to say. But yeah, you can learn to count here, right? So, and it's not hard, to learn. But anyway, that is 26 hours and 1 minute, if we are clear. So we're fasting for 26 hours and 1 minute. And as we can see, the Ekadashi Titi starts in about 9 minutes. So usually it's best to stop eating any grain 4 hours before that time or whatever. But if you're sitting there munching on a sandwich right now, you might want to hurry up and finish that thing. Just, just hurry it up. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, definitely no grain. Try to stay away from wheat, quinoa, corn, anything that's a grain. Do your best to stay away from it. All right. And all you got to do is stay away from it for this portion for it's looking like 26 hours and 1 minute. And the Krishna Paksha Ekadashi is happening on, it looks like the 4th of April, right? Looks like Ekadashi is starting there. So let's just go to April and look at the Krishna Paksha Ekadashi Titi, right? So let's see. Boom. Let's see how we got this here. Okay, so the Krishna Paksha Navami is then, okay, so then Dashami starts at 8:59 a.m. on that day. So Dashami is up to 6:44 a.m. on the 4th. And so then it's the Ekadashi Titi, Titi Chaya, right? And it's funny when you see in like the Hindi transliteration, the KSH makes the CH diphthong sound. It's ch, so that's Titi Chaya, right? And you can look these things up. Don't just let me just, pronounce, these transliterated terms without you looking them up, all right? But the next Ekadashi also, and so you want to observe both Shukla Paksha and Krishna Paksha. Shukla Paksha is when the moon is increasing in light, up, so that's leading from new moon to full moon or Amavasya to Purnima. Amavasya is new moon, Purnima is full moon. And then the Krishna Paksha is from Purnima to Amavasya, which is from the full moon to the new moon. All right. So, yeah. So you guys can set your calendars there and know that it is going to be over. Jesus, Bruce Lee Christ. Up to 12:49 a.m. the next day. So it looks like, let me see if I got that correct. Yeah. So when you see like it's giving that plus symbol there, right? And so we know it's starting at 6:44 a.m. Ekadashi on the 4th of April, right? And it keeps giving me Allentown, Pennsylvania. It's supposed to be for the Baltimore, but either way, I get East Coast is East Coast. So whatever. Right? What we'll do, let's see. Boom. So it looks like, if I'm not mistaken, that's quite a lengthy, let's see, Krishna Paksha Dwadashi up until, okay, so that's that. Let me make sure I am comprehending this. Dashami is up to 6:44. Let me make sure I am comprehending. Okay, so it looks like it's up to 3:59 the next day. So we see how we see on the 4th, Dashami is at 6:44. So Ekadashi starts then until 3:59 the next day. So that means on the 5th April, right? The 5th April at 3:59 a.m. Eastern. Alrighty, so that looks like that's way less than 24 hours later, honestly. So that's 21 hours and 15 minutes. It's looking like for the Krishna Paksha Ekadashi Titi fast, and it's happening in Makara. Makara is Capricorn. Pardon me. Yeah. Hold on. Makara is Capricorn. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Makara is Capricorn. Kumba is Aquarius. That's where you get the Kumbaya, my lord, Kumbaya. Anyway, I'm just saying, like, that's why you kind of learn the Sanskrit. You guys get a lot out of it too, or whatever, right? Let me come on back here. Any questions, comments, and or suggestions going once? I have to thank you all for joining me for today's presentation. Got 12 minutes till Newbie Tuesday. All right, with Malika and Sunny and all of the lawful living community. All right. I look forward to you guys scheduling your sessions. Oh, and do not forget, you know what? I want to make sure I bring this up, right? Close, right? As I bring it up, let me get it. Make sure I have it here because I noticed my typographical error the day prior. And so what I would like to do is make sure I am sharing this with you all. All right. And make sure that image is saved. All right. Bring that up for y'all. Come on back here and share the screen one more time. Questions, comments, and or suggestions go in Twicket, Twiz eyes. So here's my comment and suggestion. All right. For twice. Thursday, 21st March 2024 at 6 post-meridian Eastern. That's 1800 hours Eastern. Adjust your time zones accordingly so you can join. Community Health and Nutrition Fruition with Mother Sahar L. I will be sitting at her feet just learning just like you guys are also. Guys can see it. It's taking place on Zoom. Alrighty, there is the Zoom number. Those of you that have donated already, I will make sure that you get that email. So you can just have the link, just click the link and come on in, right? Passcode. See, I corrected the spelling on passcode. Yay! It's two S's. It's not just pause code anymore. It's passcode. All righty, passcode is there. And this is a donation-based participation event, right? So donation-based participation via Zoom. And so the Cash App is there. The Caduceus symbol, or what you call the $. Our Astrology Street is where you can send your donations, all right, to be able to be a part of it. It will take place via Zoom, and you can be there live, as well as those can send their donations for the recording also. However, you show up live, you're going to be automatically added to the archive for the recording anyway, right? So make sure you guys show on up and really see, like Mother Sahara has a plethora of knowledge and experience. And those of you that received the email, her bio was there in the email, so you guys can get to know her within that bio. Guarantee you will not be disappointed at all. All right. So with that being said, questions, comments, and or suggestions going through eyes. Right. So guys, go and prepare to chop up your salad or find something to eat that's try your best to not eat grain. If you can't do it and you feel like it's a struggle, that's fine. Remember, it's not doing something based on some belief system. It's a science to it. It's giving your body the break from foods that absorb water, like the grains and things of that nature, rice, milled grain like corn, wheat, things of that nature or whatever. Maybe you need to go and Google, what is a grain? What are the different types of grains? And then you can look that up and you're like, oh, what am I going to eat then? Because this is what I want. I don't know. I mean, you might do that, you might not, right? However, yeah, you can get through it, right? Just you're not eating any grain from 2:52 post meridian Eastern today until 4:53 post meridian Eastern tomorrow. So this is a lengthy fast. It's going to be 26 hours and 1 minute. You can do it, and you're going to feel so much better. You accomplish it, okay? And you'll see within 3 days something great happen for you. However, at the sound of my voice, if you're hearing what I'm saying and you're just like, well, if I can, I'll try it. If I can, it's all good. Whatever occurs, because this is about some type of it's an energy that you'll attract to yourself within those 3 days after the fast. There may be something that you may witness or experience that may not be so favorable. All right. And that's just been my experience. But can you guys let me know what your Ekadashi experience is? Because I'm so going to ask you tomorrow. I'm going to ask you what's your Ekadashi experience tomorrow. Or maybe I'll go live. I mean, I want to go live early anyway, so it might be before. So maybe I'll ask you on Thursday, like, hey man, how was your Ekadashi experience? Were you able to make it? And just be honest with me. Yeah, I made it. Nah, man, I ate some grain. So I got to see within 72 hours, within, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, maybe up to Sunday. Let's see what happens, between Thursday and Sunday or Wednesday at 4:53 until Thursday, Friday, Saturday at 4:53 p.m. Let's see if there's anything unfavorable that happens. But those of you that actually participate, see what happens within those 72 hours that are favorable for you, right? Mother Zahar says sincere gratitude, and C. Thomas says got black eyed peas and water and about to check. Sheesh. Is that a grain? I know it's definitely heavy on absorbing water, but yeah, check to see if the black eyed peas is a grain. See if that's a grain. I mean, I'm not going to say if it is or isn't right now, but maybe you can let it chill and marinate for those 26 hours and 1 minute. And then it tastes really good when you eat it on Wednesday after 4:53 post meridian Eastern, right? Yeah, double check if it's a grain, All right. Guys, I love you all. No more questions, comments, and or suggestions going thrice. Make sure when you do go to partake in your victuals to make great affirmations. Alrighty. So for your health and wealth. And we like to see you all on Thursday. So make sure you make your donation to the Cash App to attend. There is no quote unquote set number. However, reach into your heart, alrighty, and give a love gift where you don't feel guilty, like you're obligated, but at the same time, you feel comfortable enough that you're giving out of your heart. So give out of your heart and come and attend and be a part of the archive, as we will put your email to that Google Drive where it will be archived. All right. With that being said, guys, when you go to rest and recharge, make sure you rest and recharge while Mother Zahar is laughing too, along with you, C. Thomas, right? So with that being said, I just think that's just super hilarious. So with that being said, guys, I love ye all. This is where I say to ye all. Matter of fact, let me stop the screen share. All right. And I trust we did some good. I trust these 3 days up to now pertaining to community health and what I've been sharing astrologically. I hope it's really, giving you guys a comfort level about astrology, even more than what we've been presenting. What I've actually been presenting, and then allowing brothers to present with me. However, now I'm in my graduation and moving forward with my journey. I am going to continue to do what I did, as I started, and I'm continuing even now. And I trust that it just really brings you guys the confidence that is necessary for you and the things that you need. Because I have a lot to share, and the consistency in which I do things, I trust that it is helpful to ye all. All right. So, with that being said, beloveds, I love ye all. Make sure you guys enjoy yourselves this Ekadashi TT fast. And I will see ye all next day, right? Wednesday. Not sure if I'm going to do a weather report or not. I'm thinking about it. I'm not really completely sure, but maybe, just maybe, for the community health, marathon that we're doing here, or series, let me say, since this is community health part 3, all right? With that being said, guys, I love you all. This is where I say to you all, share this too. Like, share with your loved ones. I know I forget to do that because I've just never been in that whole, world of all right, well, I need to get, my subscribers up so I can monetize the channel. It's always been, let me just share this, even though I know it's really just a community service. I do that from the jump, and it's consistent because we're still under 700 subscribers, let alone under 1,000, right? However, other than that, guys, I love you all. This is where I say to you all, namaste, namaste, namaste. Islam, 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 y'all. Peace.